What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Headbutt. As always, I'm Steven Cobb, and that's RS Remi. And we're going to look back at our WrestleMania 41 predictions. And this guy is just on cloud 9 right now. One wrong. Remi beat me out. I had 5 wrong. You had 1 wrong. That was the Liv and Raquel match. Because nobody knew that Bayley was out when we did that podcast. Yeah. Had we known Bayley was out, we probably would have predicted that Lyra and Becky were going to tag team and win it.
Yeah.
Jey Uso and Gunther. What'd you feel about that match?
My boy, main event, Jey Uso has finally captured the big one. I know I don't have that title today, but
I picked Gunther, and I'm going to have to relinquish the title to Jey Uso for this podcast, unfortunately. Yeah. So, yeah, I did not like that match too much. Yeah. It was kind of mid. It was supposed to open the show, a big match, but it just didn't hit. And I have my own opinions about that, but I will keep them to myself. Looks like Gunther might be on a hiatus now that he attacked Michael Cole on Raw, but we'll get to Raw in a minute. Do you have any favorite matches or moments from WrestleMania 41?
Why, Paul? Why, Paul? Why did you have to do it?
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about that.
When we get to Raw, I need to talk about that because...
Yeah, we'll talk more about that match or that whole scenario. Rollins, Punk, and Reigns. A lot of people have that as one of the best matches of the weekend.
I think that was my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fine. I thought the triple threat from night 2 was my favorite, the Io, Bianca, Rhea match.
I think I like the Seth Roman and Punk one because of what happened with Paul and the factor of Paul and I count the entrance as part of the match, so I liked the entrance of all 3 men. Yeah,
the Punk entrance was pretty sweet, going back to his old theme for a little bit, and then having Living Color do the actual theme for once. And even took a selfie with the lead singer. I didn't catch it on social media yet, but if I find it, we'll throw it up here. Joe Hendry might have been my favorite moment of the weekend.
Your hands love side to side.
Yeah.
I believe in Joe Chicken Dandy Handy.
Yeah, Joe Hendry shows up and gets RKO'd out of nowhere by Randy Orton. And then finally, I know we're breezing through this, Cody and Cena. Cena, 17-time undisputed champion. But yeah, John Cena, 17-time, claiming that he's going to ruin wrestling.
And be the last real champion.
He's got to get through Randy Orton first. Maybe this whole ruin wrestling thing is a culmination of his last run. He's going to have challenger after challenger, and he's trying to walk away from it, but nobody's letting him. It's like, nope, you got to fight me first. Nope, you got to fight me next. So he's probably going to have to go through a bunch of people for this last run. We'll see what happens and where it goes. And another one of my favorite moments, the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title.
Dirty, dirty dom. Dirty, dirty dom.
I'd say if somebody was going to get flowers this weekend, he might have gotten the biggest bouquet because the crowd erupted for him.
Yeah, how did they cheer for him?
Well, that's the whole thing in WWE. Not that it's a secret anymore, but the secret sauce was make a heel as heelish as could be, sprinkle that heel dust all over the crowd, make them boo you. The best way to do that was Dom's situation of being a prick to his father. When you create a heel like that people just hate, when it's time to turn face, people love him. Yep. So I think it was a little bit of that.
I don't even...
He paid his dues of booze.
Yeah.
You know?
Dues of booze. I like that.
Let's move on to Raw. The night after WrestleMania, which was absolute chaos. RKO and Cena.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I wish that what happened on SmackDown was first, and then what happened on Raw was second. They should have had us wait for it.
Yeah. Well, I saw a clip of Randy sneaking under the ring beforehand, and they did it pretty smoothly because the crowd was already in the audience, And they had all the workers setting up the ring, and Randy had his hood up, and they all kind of covered him while he slid under the ring.
Yeah, that's what they did with Jacob. Like, they had him come out when they fixed the ring during commercial breaks and stuff.
Oh, okay.
They had Jacob come out
as like a worker,
as one of them, and then he slid on the ring.
That makes sense. Speaking of Jacob, new United States champion Jacob Fatu, Becky and Lyra. I called that as well as you did on WrestleMania. Only one wrong. It's crazy. Good job, bro. As crazy as that was, I called the Becky heel turn, and I think that was supposed to be for Bayley at WrestleMania, but since Becky came out, notice how as soon as they dropped the titles, they got them right back, Liv and Raquel. I don't think that was supposed to happen with Bayley, so Becky filled the role of that, and then the next night, hey, do you think Becky? I'll ask this question in a minute, but how you feel about that, Becky and Lyra?
Becky turning heel. I hate when she hit those 2 manhandle slams on her. The crowd started chanting, one more time. And if you're trying to be a heel, you shouldn't listen to the crowd and go back for another one.
I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that.
Yeah, because I get it. You're beating down a good guy, but that's just gonna make them cheer you because you listen to them. Like,
I think I know what that's all about. Triple H gives a lot of leeway to his performers now. So I think that he tells them, hey, feel the crowd, give the crowd what they want. Like you said, when you're a heel, you don't give the crowd what they want. Don't. That's how you get the heat. Big return from Rusev.
Woo!
Coming out, attacking, what are they called now? I always get Alpha Academy.
Academy and the New Day just left. Rusev Day.
Oh, yeah, Rusev Day. I remember that.
Alive.
Rusev is back. Not the biggest return, but I think he won't main event, but he'll be like United States champion again, maybe.
No,
somewhere around that. Maybe IC. Yeah.
I feel like Dom versus Rusev could be a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe add Penta into that.
Hey, while we're on that topic, Dom fought Penta, and the return of JD, my dude, is back. I still didn't get to see it yet, but I know all about it. Maybe favorite part of the week. We didn't even cover NXT. But NXT was pretty good too. But Io, Sky comes out, and then who comes out to challenge her?
Stephanie, my kid.
That was pretty awesome.
You know what's funny? I know this is the same for a lot of people, but those are my 1 and 2 of women's wrestling right now. Io and Stephanie.
I think they're the 2 hottest, without a doubt.
Yeah,
Stephanie,
my number 1.
I think Stephanie is the hottest one right now.
Io's my number 1, like as of in ring.
Yeah.
Because we've had her for longer, and I know more about Io. And if I knew more about Stephanie, and if she had more high profile feuds, which is what she's starting to get to in her career now, I feel like she would be my
Well,
one.
She's got plenty of time to do that. Still. She's still in NXT, but she's a double champ. She performs literally every week on NXT. She's out there performing, putting on matches.
Or promos.
I think she's number 1 in my book right now. But that's cool. I'm wondering where that's going to go. It was interrupted by
Julia and Roxanne Perez.
That's right. So,
and for some reason, I don't know. I might just be forgetting what happened last Tuesday, but Stephanie and Roxanne fought on NXT. It was announced before the
Roxanne walked out on Cora, which the lines between NXT and WWE, it's weird because sometimes they like neglect what even happened with Roxanne on WWE, and she comes back to NXT and we act like that stuff never happened. It seems like they mix the lines a little too much. I think this is going to lead to Stephanie, Io versus Roxanne and Julia. Yeah. Since 3 of them are with NXT, still, I think it's going to be down in NXT. Like, Io's going to go down. It always helps ratings when you get somebody from the main roster to come down. And then Joe Hendry shows up on NXT, but that's crazy. Yeah, Gunther goes crazy. Speaking of crazy, like I said, we talk about this, and he is suspended indefinitely.
R.I.P. Pat McAfee.
Hey, Pat could take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Pat gets a little too animated for me sometimes. He oversells. It takes the realism away from,
He's too funny.
From big moments, I mean.
It's too funny.
Yeah. And I like Pat. That's no knock on him. And then what you've been waiting to talk about, the end of Raw. Take it away.
Finally! It's taken long enough. It's taken
too long.
Braun Breaker is now one of the biggest players in the main event scene. We've been waiting for this.
We've been waiting. There's a new alliance in the WWE. Paul Heyman's running the show with Seth Rollins And you've been waiting for this. You've been calling it for the longest time, Braun Breaker.
The new and better Goldberg is now in the main event.
It's like Goldberg and Brock Lesnar had a child and Braun Breaker came out. I'm hearing Becky Lynch might join this alliance.
That'd be sick.
And you got Rollins and Becky together. I think this is coming to the alliance very soon. Jey Uso is going to drop the title to either Braun or Seth Rollins. If you're going to have that alliance, you need a big title in there.
Can I say something? That's been circling on the interwebs. We got the new evolution here. I could see it. Paul being Ric Flair.
You want to bring more in.
Being Triple H. Braun could be like a Batista. And then my prediction. I need Ethan Page on the main roster.
Now! Where's he at in NXT right now?
Right now, he
just feuded with Ricky Saints. Did he show up at NXT Tuesday?
No.
That's a good sign then for you because you keep him off NXT now and let him be forgotten a little bit. Then you throw him in the alliance. There's been so many debuts and returns and turns. It's getting wild right now. I feel like Triple H has got his hands full with all this stuff.
Another one I could see with that new evolution.
Bronson Reed.
Ooh.
Perfect.
I love it.
Moving over to SmackDown, we got another Cena opening. Cena's been opening Raw and SmackDown kind of for the past couple of weeks.
I don't get why they still have people like crossing over from brand to brand. Like we have like John Cena. The title's on SmackDown, so he should open up SmackDown.
Well, it's the name John Cena because it's Netflix.
Sure.
This is the whole problem with Raw being on Netflix and SmackDown being on USA. They want the ratings on Netflix because they want to prove that they can carry that weight. Fraxium debuts on SmackDown. I got a nice little win over
Los Garza, Berto and Angel. Yeah.
Tiffy came out, and then we were interrupted by Jade Cargill, hinting at a title run for Jade finally.
And then we get a match between them. Does Nick Aldis just not come prepared to shows? What?
Right. What is the card just not complete, and we're filling it out as the night goes?
Yeah, people always trash on Adam
That's how
Pearce,
it's always been. That's how
Adam Pearce because he never shows up and he doesn't do anything. Nick Aldis is too lazy to get anything on his show. That's the problem.
That damn Nick Aldis. We got an almost copy and paste from Raw for the women's title over there is Io Sky. Well, she fought Stephanie. Then it got interrupted. That's going to lead to a tag team match. Same thing here. This fight gets interrupted by Naomi and the return of Nia Jax. So I can see Nia coming for that title again. Charlotte just disappeared. Who knows when she'll be back again. Solo and Fatu come out next. And we're starting to see the heat, boil up. Solo says he's responsible for Fatu winning, and Fatu grabs the mic and says, Nah.
I love you, Jacob.
That's what it should be now, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I could see that happening pretty soon.
Or I could see, imagine the pop that this would get. Hey, you, Solo.
I would get some popcorn.
Popcorn.
And now we have a new United States Women's Champion, which I'm not that thrilled about. I think Chelsea gets it back because she has her whole character branded around this United States title right now. She's got the Secret Hervis.
Secret.
And Secret. And then you were talking about the Spine Bust Her.
Spine Bust Her.
Renaming that would be cool. But Vega wins the title, and then her husband returns to the WWE. Aleister Black returns with his old music, his old entrance. It's pretty sick. Attacks The Miz, and Carmelo wanted nothing to do with it.
And
does
then
not
The
come out
Miz
to help.
versus Aleister Black on SmackDown. Ooh, I'm so happy.
Is that announced?
Yeah.
For next week?
Yeah, this week.
Drew versus LA Knight. I did not watch it. I do know the results. How was that match?
That was a pretty good match. Drew beat him by DQ. So
how so? Damien came out.
Yeah, Damien got Drew, so he won by DQ.
Oh, so that could lead to a LA Knight Damien fight.
And then Damien and LA started arguing, and then Jacob came out and just dropped both of them.
Wow.
And then he dropped McIntyre No, Priest and Knight with a moonsault, but on
So we could
themselves.
potentially see a fatal 4-way there for Backlash. And then the Street Profits retain their titles in the TLC
that
match.
was a fire TLC match.
I could imagine, because the Motor City Machine Guns are seasoned veterans. The Street Profits are on fire right now. I will go back and watch this match because I did want to see it, but
You need to.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Who grabbed the title? Was it Ford?
Ford, yeah.
Ford.
I feel like
He grabbed both of them. Were they both hanging up?
You know, whenever they have multiple titles, they have like that thingy, you know?
Oh yeah,
So
it's hanging on like a little coat hanger looking deal.
And then after the match, I thought it was pretty poetic. Like Johnny was like kind of hugging it, sitting behind the ropes, like the little coat hanger thing. Like when they were like in the Street Profits were in the crowd, and then they showed both teams after they lost.
Wait a minute.
What?
It wasn't Motor City Machine Guns?
What do
It
you
was
mean?
DIY?
DIY.
You said Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny was holding like the coat hanger thing. No, not on the ladder. Like he was leaning onto the ropes after they lost.
I must have this mistaken because I thought it was Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns.
No, it was DIY was there too.
So three different teams. Okay, so I definitely got to see that because I love DIY.
Dawkins speared Ciampa, who was like holding on.
All right,
to
don't
him.
tell me no more. Don't tell me no more. I want to see it.
All right.
So apparently it was a banger, and I'm going to be watching that right after we're done here.
A lot of tables.
Looking ahead now, any thoughts about Backlash? Do you think you see anything crazy happening from now until Backlash? And where is St. Louis. So
I know.
Randy Orton is from St. Louis, so Cena was like, I want you at your best. Let's do it in St. Louis where you're from so you can spend the day with your family, feel fresh and ready to go, because that's the Randy Orton I want to fight.
Guess what?
I don't think I'm doing it right.
You're close enough. I do it like this. Like this is him.
He kind of does a weird thing with his hands.
Yeah, he doesn't do it like he used to do. He like back in when he was younger, he did it with grace. He did some. Now
Now it's more like he's holding stiff so he can show off his muscles more. I think.
BDE. He calls it the T-Rex pose, like this. Yeah. All right, so I think Jacob has that fatal 4-way that we were talking about. That's my new prediction. Good, now that you mentioned it. But then we see the debut of Hikuleo, and he joins
apparently they had him signed for over 6 months now. So and we didn't see him in NXT. So I don't know what they're doing with him.
I think he'll debut and helping Solo. Like Jacob knocks out Solo, and then Hikuleo comes and attacks Jacob. I don't think he'll lose the title.
That's a good prediction because I completely forgot about him. Real quick, just to backtrack on NXT, I did want to say I enjoyed the women's North American match and that triple threat between Oba, Trick, and Javon. Fire. There was a couple botches, but they're young and it's NXT, so you can easily excuse all that. Javon is such a high flyer and wants to get all his stuff in that he puts 110% into all of it, but sometimes he overshoots things because his opponent isn't ready for 110%.
One botch I remember, and Trick, he wasn't able to break up the pin in time, so Javon just kind of kicked out.
Yeah, triple threat matches and tag team. Anytime there's a match with more than 2 people and you're supposed to have somebody save the pinfall, you got to kick out at 2 3/4 just in case that person doesn't make it to save you. But yeah, it was a crazy weekend filled with wrestling. I'm exhausted from it. But it's time to start new. So we got a lot of things to look forward to. We're going to be back with another podcast next week, and we're going to be playing some games on that one, maybe some trivia. So we'll see you then.
See you then. Bring back Cyber Sunday. I just thought of it.
Yeah, that's the one.